Our politicians were elected by us because of promises that they made. They're not willing to keep those promises because the Democrats have turned cowardly and the Republicans have become bullies.
Plus, in order to keep those promises, they have to turn their backs on the people giving them all this money.
Exactly.
You know?
And since we elected them into office, it's up to us to elect them out of office.
Right.
And if you're not going to keep your promise to us, then get out and put somebody in there that will.
Right.
Okay. And
that's right.
You know, I'm not only a 99er, I'm a 99er because my unemployment has run out. And, you know, if I had a way to do this full time and actually keep my rent paid and stuff, I would do this forever because we don't have enough people speaking for us.
Taking our country back is that important.
It is.
You know, and it's going to take such a yeoman's effort. It's going to take such a big sea change, you know. And in order to do that, it's going to take people really putting a lot of time and effort into it, like Obama's tried to do.
Exactly. And for the Republican Congress to hold him hostage and say, we're not voting on your jobs bill, when 80% of that jobs bill had been previously given to the president and voted on by the Republicans themselves as okay.
But if they think it's going to make him look good, I've heard this reported in the news even. It's like the Republicans start talking about if we're going to make him look good, we're not going to pass it.
A lot of people don't want to say this, but I think that there's a little racism there. Actually, there's a lot of racism there because of the flack that President Obama is getting. Bill Clinton was a Democrat, and he didn't get the flack.
I can't tell you how many times I've run into people, one person in particular just recently saying, we've got to get that black man out of office. I said, why did you even have to bring up his race? Why?
He's the only man that's doing us any good.
But they're thinking about the fact that he's black, and they're saying, we got to get him out of office.
I don't care what color he is. If he's going to do me some good, keep him there. You know, color doesn't matter.
It just shows the racism,
right?
You know?
It does. And John Boehner is one of the biggest bullies, along with I believe it's Senator Reid. He's another huge bully. You know, and they're both for corporate control of this country. And we can't give that up, because as soon as we give that up, we're all going to go to hell in a handbasket.
It needs to be we the people, not we the corporation.
That's right.
Thanks a lot.
I just want to say just one piece of that. What he's saying, Senator Edward Kennedy started health care and the fight for health care for a social justice movement for all of us for the right to have. And I think when we define universal health care, we have to leave that in memory of him. Just like the rest of the Kennedy brothers, they died for a reason and for a purpose. When Edward Kennedy, before he had that brain cancer take over his body, that was his main fight. That was his champion. And I think that we ought to, like this man said, stay in focus to that, to ask for universal health care, but we asked for it not behind Obamacare, because Obama, all he did was pick up the torch and took it from Edward Kennedy, Senator Edward Kennedy, for us to have to move forward. And he moved that agenda forward, but it's up to us to finish. And I just want to just say that, and I want everybody else to get a chance to speak.
No, what's right for your next generation, what's right for the people just in general.
I'm going to put myself in jail if I have to make my point. Jail was not fun. It's just what you think it is. It was jail. 99% includes an awful lot of us. Okay? So every message is got to include pretty much everybody's message, whether you're right or left, Republican or Democrat, you're included in that 99%. All of us, all 99% of us have been victimized by the 1%, who bent us over and picked our pockets. They've done it systematically for 40 years, and you can watch the decline of our society, of our civilization. We all know what's happening. We all know that there's a big message to get across. The mainstream media does not want to pass on this message. They are owned by GE, Disney, Unicom, Viacom. 1% of the very, very wealthy. 1%, when we talk about 1%, it is the very, very, very wealthy. You and I, my friends, don't know any of these people firsthand. They walked into their money. They were born into their money, and their grandparents stole that money from brown and black people and from non-unionized white people. And red, they stole the whole country from red people.
I represent the homeless veterans in America, okay? We had to go and fight and all that stuff, and now we ain't got no place to live. All right, but we gonna make that better. All right, but in the meantime and in between time, nice to see everybody out here. I got to go. Got things to do, places to be, and people to see because they have to help me. You got that? All right, now, glad that y'all occupying this ain't Wallaby. What street is it?
Sacramento.
All right, we occupying Sacramento right now, okay? And I understand what you're tired of the vote. Hey, I know there's some kids right there and all that. I'm sorry about that. But you're tired of it. You're tired of CEOs getting bailouts. And then they get millions of dollars in bonuses. I understand what you're talking about. All right? So I don't know how we could deal with it. I mean, you know, we have Obama in the White House, but he can't do everything.
Recall.
He can't do nothing. All right? But if we had McCain in there, we'd be even worse. All right? So y'all can sit up there and talk all that you want. All right? But he was spending money on America. Okay, now we got some other cats coming up there. They say they're going to do this, they're going to do that. All right, let's figure it out. Y'all figure it out for yourself. Everybody need to register to vote. Register to vote. If you don't vote, you can't talk any noise, all right? If you don't vote, you can't talk no noise.
Here are the papers right here.
All right? You can't say nothing about it if you don't vote. That's the way it goes. You know, all them knuckleheads are scared that they'll get jury duty or whatever the hell happens when you register to vote, okay? So all the people, I said, don't worry about this. You got to vote.
This is what it's about. We're not talking about people that run their own business, own a home in Granite Bay, and have a couple few $1 million in assets. We're talking about the people, this is the 1% here. They got so much, yet why are we paying double, triple, and quadruple the amount that they pay in taxes? What is so difficult? And we are not asking for much for them to pay just as much as we do.
You know, going with this Bank of America problem, they're doing that because of transactions. Transactions that you make with that card. Transactions. Well, here we go for transactions. At the first of the month, when everybody get ready to pay your bills, make sure you have all your bills already. And if you have to do any dealing with the bank, make sure you make one transaction out of the bank, and that's to get what you need out of there. And don't make no more transactions for the rest of the month. And that's why we show them, because the whole thing is they've invited you to come on and pay your bills online. They tell you to welcome you. Come on and get this done. Make it easy on yourself. And then when you get comfortable with it, here comes that small black print. We got a fee for you. We got some type of fee. And we need to cut that out. They need to put a cap on it. These are the things that we need to ask for from Congress, your representatives in Congress. You need to call the Doris Matsuis and whoever else that represent the state of California and tell them enough is enough. That's where it all starts at. But in the main thing where we're headed, and people keep saying, you know, we don't have no course. Our first course and our last course is justice. We want justice. Justice, because nothing can be done without justice. We can sit here and come up with all the solutions in the world, but without justice, nothing can be done. And what we always say, and if there's no justice, there's no peace.
We need to get the message out in a unified way. Now, we are each individuals. We each have our own beliefs, our own way of expressing those beliefs and what we say our needs are. But as a group, whether it's through General Assembly or whether it's through the message outreach, committee or outreach committee, we need to find a unified message and know that every time we have a General Assembly and every time we propose motions that will be voted on the next day, all of it is being put on the website as people are speaking, so it is getting out there. Okay, now there's one more thing I want to talk about, and it also involves getting the message out. I'm a 51-year-old man. I'm pretty damn well old school. And there's an old thing that people used to do regularly that they're not doing nearly as much anymore, especially us 99%ers. Write your Congress representatives, your senators, your local representatives. Write to them. And I mean, if you have to write to them every day, do so. Invest in postage stamps and envelopes and pens and paper if that's what it takes. Because if we do that and identify yourself on your letter as a member of the Occupy Sacramento and the 99%ers, that will make it a much more unified message. Because we're all saying very, very similar things, okay? And
I feel like whenever I write my representative about particular policies that I'm passionate about, like I'll just get sort of a placated response. And like, you know, what do you call those, the cut and paste type response letters? And most of the time, can you watch out? He's about to, sorry. I just get really close. Anyway, I just don't feel like I'm really being represented by my representatives, that's all.
Well, it takes you a long time to write that letter. Think how long it would take them to write 2,000 response letters. So it's a bummer to get an automated response. Somebody read it.
I'll touch on that. I agree with that. I feel like our system has gotten real mechanized. It's gotten real, like, nobody out here feels like our representatives are representing us any longer. I've written Obama, I wrote Bush several times. I loved Bush at first, I hated Bush at the end. I came from a Republican family, joined the military, and my views just flipped after that. So, but every time I've written a congressman, a senator, a president, anybody, I get that letter back that says, you know, fill in the blank, Sean Thompson, I understand your concern, and blah, 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 signed, automatic signature of the computer.
Don't you tell me what I ought to say, 'cause I'm fully free to express myself. Don't you tell me how I ought to act, or the proper way. You think I should dress myself? I don't know why you even try to control me at all. Don't you know a wild Mustang don't belong in no stall? My life, it ain't your judgment call. I'm staying happy and I'm standing tall. I'm a wild Mustang, running with the wind blowing out of the west. I'm a wild Mustang, and you'll never even catch me 'cause I'm lightning fast. I'm a Mustang. All of your preaching don't sound right to me. Don't you tell me how I ought to brush my mane. You seem pretty fake and uptight to me. You chose to stand your back against that wall, 'cause you like living behind the 8 ball. Well, I'd sooner starve than be locked in your stall. I'm staying happy and I'm standing tall, 'cause I'm a wild Mustang, running with the wind blowing out of the west. I'm a wild Mustang, and you'll never even catch me 'cause I'm lightning fast. I'm a Mustang.
Hey there, I enjoyed what you were saying up there during the forum. What's your name?
Brother Kevin Carter,
Hey, Brother Carter.
but they call me Brother Carter.
All right. You know, I have to say, too, I was pleasantly surprised nobody smells bad down here.
No, like I said, it's just like a
You know, the
book.
media's been saying that everybody they've seen, you know, smells
Well,
up the park. And
Well, you have a few people that, you know, are homeless out here, you know what I'm saying? And so you run into that situations. But
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm like Jesse Jackson, you know what I'm saying? If you see somebody down, don't look at them, help them up. You know, so in saying that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's going to be a few people out here that don't smell right or whatever, but, you know, that's a part of the process. Right now, we got some people that are on Wall Street that don't smell right.
I like that. Something smells really fishy with all that corruption, huh?
Right, it's bad. It's worse than fishy. It's some puke going on. You know what I'm saying? There's some puke going on, some manuring.
So, in a nutshell, 30 seconds, tell the viewers what this is all about, why you are down here.
I'm here because of the movement within itself.
What's it all about to you? In a nutshell, 30 seconds.
Social and economic despair, social and economic injustice, social and economic in the transferring of wealth and commonwealth, the purpose of it, and the meaning of how money is supposed to move in this nation. This nation was built on washing money, and those that are wealth got in the way of that. And my thing here today is to bring justice to an injustice.
Very nice. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for doing the interview and coming out here and being part of the process to get our message out.
If you're not part of the change, you're part of the problem. Is that how?
Well, if you're not part of the solution,
you're
then
part of the problem.
You're
Right.
part of the problem. And right now, the 1% is a part of the problem. And the thing is, we don't have anything against the 1%. We just want the 1% to recognize how can you say anything about patriotism and not want to get back into this country.
And shipping all the jobs overseas.
And shipping everything everywhere else because they make more money. And just speaking on that, Gap just sent 3 or 4 companies over to China. Here it is, the restaurant Morton's. I just watched on Bloomberg. They're getting ready to open up 2 new restaurants over in China. So what does that tell you? That tells you right there that corporate greed and those that have the money are finding other where to invest their money that have interest because they have drained everything over here in the United States that they possibly can.
Right.
They just turned our whole entire economic and financial system into a muck. You have the right to come up here and explain that to us.
What are you saying?
What did you say?
Come up here. You're going to address that or not?
You address it. Come up and tell
I
us.
want you to address it.
Tell
All
us.
right, you all just heard me say it.
No, I didn't. I didn't hear you say it.
All right, I'm going to say it once and I'm gone. NAFTA and GATT. All right? That's part of what they're doing to break the union.
The trade imbalance is just unbelievable.
Oh, it's very imbalanced.
And all the jobs that have been shipped overseas, it's just unbelievable. It's really hurt this nation. It's really hurt the middle class.
Yes, it has.
And it's hurt the lower class to have access to the middle class.
Exactly. That's why I said it's not the transfer of wealth, it's the transfer of commonwealth.
Right.
And that's where when Rush Limbaugh and people like that and Sean Hannity get on TV and misrepresent, we already know who they're promoting. They're promoting bigotry.
I think that's one of the huge problems is why we're having trouble with growth is because everybody sees we're here and we're addressing this big general umbrella problem, but everyone's in their homes and at their work offices and up there, and they're saying, well, the problem is the bank account, blah, 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 and they're not addressing that. Or the problem is the something unions, blah, 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 and they're not addressing that. See, people don't get it, that there's all these problems, there's lots of problems, and we need to all address them together. And that's one thing also with the media, that we're not giving them a specific problem we want to focus on.
It's unconstitutional what they're doing, and they want to dictate on how the country is supposed to be ran, and you can't do
It's supposed to be
that.
we the people, not we the corporations, and
Exactly,
and it's
and we
reached
the
a point with the
politicians.
lack of ethics in business. It's reached a point where it's we the corporations, which led to that big debacle, the financial debacle, because there was no oversight and they were being given free rein.
Exactly.
Instead of being watched over, make sure they're playing ball right, and
Exactly.
putting people first,
Exactly.
and they jeopardize all those people with their 401ks and their.
Camera's rolling.
Aren't you supposed to say action? I thought you were like
Well, I can say that.
Brooks trained professional.
If that helps you out a little bit more, I can say that. Ready? And
Yeah, that helps me out.
action.
Basically what I am is, this is a documentary about me and how I am a professional activist in the state where it is the hardest to be a professional activist, here in California. First of all, let me just say, I would like to just make it known that it ought to be a requirement in order to be governor of this state. You have to be able to know how to say the state correctly, pronounce the state correctly. It's California, Arnold. Anyway, it's hard to be an activist here in California because there's so many of them, and I just have to say, a lot of them call themselves professional activists, and they aren't. They're amateurs because they don't know what it takes. Okay? First of all, it takes these glasses right here. All right? Think about it. Think back of the people that had these glasses. Bob Dylan, one of the biggest activists, and of course, with the guitar, just like me. And of course, John Lennon. Imagine that. Melodies for music. What do we hear now? Nothing but noise and garbage. But John Lennon had these glasses, just like me. And he was an activist, one of the best. And then, of course, there's the boss. Bruce Springsteen had these glasses. And the other thing that you have to have in order to be a professional activist is a magnetic personality. You have to be able to attract other people that want to follow you, that want to join your cause.
Well, where are those people, Connie? Because in my picture, I don't really see anybody. There's some people way back. They're actually walking away from you and from us. But I don't see any people here.
Look, there were some kids around here earlier on skateboards, and there was a homeless guy that was here. What happened to my wallet?
Don't see it.
Oh, God.
Maybe the homeless guy took it.
Anyway, so I just want to, I'm getting off my point here. So it's very important that you have certain things. Like I said, the glasses are important. This shirt is important. A shirt like this, anyway. You need to have a shirt that makes a powerful statement for your cause. This one, of course, Stop Wars. Get it?
Yeah. I get it. I kind of get it. I mean, it's
like Star Wars.
Star Wars movie.
Okay, so it's really powerful.
It's not a real movie called Stop Wars. Is it, though? Is it a new movie out called Stop Wars?
It's not supposed to be about it doesn't have
like
to
they
be
stop
that there's
fighting
a movie.
in this war?
It's a parody. It's a parody of Star Wars called...
Okay, so it's a t-shirt made parodying the movie for a different message than the movie. It's not... It doesn't have anything to do with Star Wars.
The point is that if we get to the 23rd century and we're still celebrating a war like in Star Wars, what are we going to do? So now we're now in the 21st century. Let's get it right and stop
Got
wars
it.
before we
it's a
ever
message
get...
on the shirt.
Yeah, so it's playing off of Star Wars. Oh, man. Try to stay with me, okay? You're doing the documentary. So, the other thing, I guess, is it's important is that you have an acronym, that you have a website. We tried to get ABA for Activists Bettering America, but it was taken, unfortunately. For like a solid month, we lobbied to try to get that, try to buy that domain from them, but it was actually taken by the American Baptist Association, which I like to call the Bigots Association. But anyway, they wouldn't let us have it, so we ended up having to pick the only thing that was left, which was ABNRML, which is Activists Bettering Normal. You want to make normal better.
ABNRML?
Right, that's right.
So that's actually abnormal is the acronym.
What?
ABNRML.
God.
Instead of
man.
normal,
How
instead
could
of
I have...
bettering normal, you're actually
Can we cut that out?
claiming
Can
to
we
be
just cut that
abnormal?
out? Do I have to talk? Can we just, because I'm going to have to pick a different one now. I can't
Yeah,
believe,
we can do that in editing. Cut it out
can't
for
believe
you.
my boyfriend didn't catch that. He's dyslexic. Oh man, I need to take up a cause against dyslexia, I guess, or to help them. This is just too much. Anyway, I guess we should move on to the next point that's very important. That being that we're in a recession right now, and as a professional activist, you have to, nowadays, right now in this recession, you have to take on more than one issue. You can have one full-time issue like being against the war, and then what I've done is I've taken on a part-time issue at night, pretty much lined myself up with the people who are promoting spaying and neutering your pets. But I've taken on even a sub-issue than that. I'm promoting the need to spay and neuter your virtual pets. Okay, for those of you who don't know what virtual pets are, it's online. You know, people who can't afford to buy a pet, they go ahead and they get a virtual pet. But the problem is, so many people who do that, they get sidetracked with, you know, answering their emails and, you know, going on eBay and everything, and they don't take time to go and feed and neuter, spay and neuter, and do all the things they need to do with their pets. So they end up either starving to death or getting loose online like a virus, and going around procreating on other people's sites like a virus and stuff. So there's a big important need for this message to get out there that you need to spay and neuter your virtual pets. So if you have a pet chinchilla, pet guinea pig, pet dog or cat online, it's very important. So I've written a song about it. One of Bruce Springsteen's big hits. I'd like to play it for you now. Here we go. Spayed in the USA. I was spayed in the USA. Get it? Like made in the USA?
Yeah, but the thing is that you're parroting Born in the USA. That's a parody.
What?
Born in the USA is the song you're doing. You're doing
No,
a parody.
it's made in the USA.
But you have to think of a word that rhymes with born.
I thought it was made
Like
in the USA.
scorn in the USA.
You're saying because I'm not...
But I get it
It's
because
not made?
it's a very famous. We see it all the time.
I thought the
Made
song
in the
was made in
USA
the
on the
USA.
packages that we buy at the Walmart, Costco.
You're saying it's born in the USA?
Yeah,
So what?
it's
I mean,
Born
why
in
do
the
I have to
USA is the lyric. But I get it.
So I have to
I
go
get
by...
the whole made
I
in
get
the
it.
USA.
I have to go by
and
your
then
rules.
Now you can
Your
do
rules.
spade, made.
Why do
but
I have to do? Why do I have to rhyme with born? Why can't it rhyme with made, even though he said born? I mean,
I just thought you'd like to know in case someone else said something, then you could be on your toes about it and be
Thank
able
you.
to
Can we just-
defend yourself. But I like spade. It's funny because it plays off made in the USA, and I get that. I like it.
all right. Can I just move on to something else? And now I forgot what it is that I wanted to say about it all.
I like to hear the rest of the song. But we
There's
can
no
move
more-
on.
There's
no
more
more.
lyrics.
We're still working on
Those
it.
are the only lyrics.
Well, I can't wait to hear the rest of the song when it's finished.
I'm staying happy and I'm standing tall, 'cause I'm a wild Mustang, running with the wind blowing out of the west. I'm a wild Mustang, and you'll never even catch me 'cause I'm lightning fast.